Y'all better buckle up because Wendy Williams is making a furious comeback, and this time she's coming for Kevin Hunter and Sharina Hudson hard. The tea is scalding, and Wendy's not holding anything back. Word on the street is that Wendy has taken legal action against her ex Kevin and his longtime mistress Sharina, dragging them to court every day. Yep, they're basically living in the courtroom now, and Wendy is loving every second of it. Sis is out here taking back her peace of mind by ruining their lives, and honey, she's doing it with a smile. Wendy just dropped a bombshell, revealing how she played Kevin and Sharina to make sure they go broke. According to sources, she's been plotting behind the scenes, and now that her plan is coming together, she couldn't be more satisfied. Wendy is getting her revenge, and it's clear she's enjoying every moment of making Kevin and Sharina's life miserable. You know this drama isn't over yet, so stick around because I'm about to spill all the details on how Wendy masterfully turned the tables on Kevin and Sharina and why they're now facing their worst nightmare. Hold on to your seats because Wendy Williams might be making a comeback. She was recently spotted out and about, and honey, she was serving looks. Now, y'all know Wendy's been through a storm lately, and it all started when her ex-hubby, Kevin Hunter, and his side chick, Sharina, were out there parading their mess and dragging her through the mud. And if that wasn't enough, things took a nosedive when Wendy got hit with a dementia diagnosis and was shoved into a conservatorship. She practically vanished from the public eye after that, leaving fans on edge and rallying with hashtags, worried sick about their girl, Wendy Williams trending on social media. But wait. Y'all, there's a whole other drama unfolding, especially when it comes to Wendy's ex, Kevin Hunter, and his side piece, Sharina Hudson. They've been MIA for the last few months, laying low while the drama unfolds. This is getting messy, and we gotta unpack it all because it's a wild ride. I gotta admit, it's kind of refreshing to see Wendy back on her feet. After all the doom and gloom reports about her health and well-being, seeing her look good is a breath of fresh air. Earlier this year, her team dropped the bomb that she had been diagnosed with dementia, revealing in 2023, after undergoing a battery of medical tests, Wendy was officially diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. Her symptoms, which combined impact her language and communication, behavior, and cognitive functions, have already presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. This whole mess is why the court slapped Wendy with a conservatorship. They decided she couldn't manage her own cash, so they brought in a guardian, Sabrina Morrissey. Now, let me spill some tea. There's been chatter about Sabrina not exactly treating Wendy like royalty. But hold up, there's no solid proof Sabrina's been mistreating Wendy. The whisper started because some of Wendy's family accused Sabrina of keeping Wendy on lock and blocking family visits. Naturally, the internet ran wild with those rumors, painting Sabrina as the villain. Sure, keeping Wendy away from her kin isn't a good look, but it doesn't automatically mean Sabrina's been shady with her. Wendy's sister, Wanda Finney, even threw some shade, saying the last time her family laid eyes on Wendy was back in 2021, and when she was in Florida, there were a number of people involved. Even beyond family, there were doctors involved, and people in Wendy's professional world were involved. She had a health team in place, nurses in place, and she had family in place. She was getting healthier. She also said, "I don't think there's anyone Wendy needed more than her family. Apart from the money part, all I want to know is that my sister is going to live and that she's going to be healthy." The concern of the family has always been Wendy's health. Wendy's niece, Alex Finney, also weighed in, spilling the tea on just how far Wendy's guardian went to keep her distant from the family. Alex painted a pretty intense picture of the lengths Sabrina took to block any family contact. It's sounding like a full-on drama scene with Wendy's own kin caught up in this messy saga. Alex claimed that Wendy is required to call her family members from a blocked phone number, meaning they can't reach out directly to her. Alex also said, and I say this honestly, we went through birthdays, we went through holidays, we went through illness. There was a period when my grandfather was in the hospital. There was no way to contact her and let her know what was going on with her 93-year-old father. Fans definitely started giving Sabrina the side eye after that, and that's when the gossip train really took off, with rumors swirling that Sabrina might be mistreating Wendy. But remember, there's still no concrete evidence to back up those claims. Even Wendy's friend Regina Shell caught the rumor bug. In a recent interview, Regina voiced her concerns, spilling the beans about how Wendy's been treated under Sabrina's watch. Regina said this is a Britney Spears thing, only it's worse since it's not even Wendy's family who has control. At least with Britney Spears, it was her dad, it was her family. This is a woman who's not even family. And how does this guardian get all this standing? Regina also said initially, when I was staying with Wendy in the summertime, we were triangulating. We were speaking to Sabrina, but then she kind of disappeared. Regina didn't hold back. She claimed Wendy was practically starving, saying there were times when she barely got decent food, or sometimes none at all. It's definitely adding fuel to the fire, painting a pretty grim picture of Wendy's situation under Sabrina's care. She said Wendy would order food at like 7:30 in the morning, and breakfast wouldn't come till 11:30, and by that time she's ready for lunch. When I went back to Los Angeles, I would have to send her food from Los Angeles to New York from a delivery service because the communication wasn't there, and she had no other access to money other than this guardian. The whole situation was shady at best, and it got even more worrying when Wendy practically vanished from the public eye, leaving fans seriously concerned. But guess what? Wendy's been making the most of her time off the grid. She was recently spotted out and about with her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., and they looked like they were catching up and living it up. She looks better than we could have expected. She was spotted in a holistic wellness store in New Jersey, and she took pictures with the store owner, as did her son Wendy's, definitely looking like she's on the mend. She's got that glow back, no doubt. Even better news, the store owner where Wendy was spotted said she was in great spirits. TMZ got the scoop from the guy running the joint, who told reporters Wendy was alert, aware, sharp, upbeat, and bubbly during the visit. TMZ went on to reveal that Wendy was reportedly in the market for products to help her with brain fog, mental clarity, stress, and circulation, and the store is hoping she comes back soon for more products tailored to her. It looks like Wendy's slowly making her way back into the spotlight, and it's a relief to see her stepping out again. Can't wait to see her continue to shine. And while we're talking about comebacks, fans are buzzing about when Wendy's ex, Kevin Hunter, and his main squeeze, Sharina Hudson, will finally make an appearance. The last word on those two was that there were whispers on the streets suggesting Sharina had dumped Kevin and moved back in with her mom. No hard proof to back it up, but a blind item also hinted that their split might be money related, saying, somewhere out there, a talk show host is having a great laugh. Her serial cheating / serial stealing ex broke up with his mistress. She was spending too much of his ill-gotten gains. I'm not saying this is gospel truth, but if it turns out to be, it wouldn't be a shocker. There were already whispers that Sharina was only with Kevin for the cash. Well, Wendy's cash, to be precise. After Wendy and Kevin's divorce, she was still shelling out alimony, but that gravy train came to a halt last year. Kevin quickly hit rock bottom, and once those rumors about Sharina ditching him went viral, folks started connecting the dots. Maybe the money running dry was the real kicker. While we can't confirm their breakup for sure, what's clear is they're laying low. Sharina's gone totally private on Instagram, and Kevin scrubbed his account clean. It'll be interesting to see how they plan to rebrand and make a comeback when they finally decide to step back into the spotlight. Fans are already chiming in saying, I'm so glad Wendy Williams is still out in the world, enjoying her life despite her health issues and money drama. Auntie looked good. Hope she knows we miss her so much. I really hope she's okay and feels better. Need her back for television's sake. Good night to everyone except Sharina Hudson. You raggedy BU, we wish you nothing but the worst. And double F Kevin Hunter's evil butt too. Neither one of y'all will ever see heaven's gates. And Wendy Williams' ex-wife husband Kevin Hunter and his mistress Sharina Hudson only got to live off her alimony payments for 3 years. He lost his $1 million home in Florida, and he owes $20K to his credit card. He's broke. This whole situation is wild.
Having this side girl for almost 15 years of our marriage. I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat.
Sharina Hudson getting out of my car with my money. Life is not what you think it is behind the scenes. Trust me. Homegirl is Miserable. Like, That's what you get.
Oh my God, Sharina Hudson in some serious trouble again. After getting sued by TJ Maxx, she now facing the wrath of Wendy Williams. Wendy done took legal action against Sharina, accusing her of stealing money through Kevin Hunter. This scandalous twist show that Sharina used Wendy's money to buy properties, and the court done confirmed these allegations. The court holding its final decision for Sharina and Kevin, digging deep into the mess to uncover how much Kevin involved. The properties Sharina bought with Wendy's money now a focal point in this legal battle. Wendy, clearly determined to get her revenge, leaving no stone unturned in her quest for justice. This situation escalating quickly, with the court digging deeper into the details of how Kevin and Sharina misappropriated Wendy's funds, the public eagerly awaiting the court's final ruling and the potential repercussions for Sharina and Kevin. It all happened once before, as you know. Kevin got himself sued for maxing out all his credit cards, owing thousands to a bunch of banks. But hold up, that ain't even the half of it. My man had to sell off their mansions and those fly cars just to cover his debts when Wendy's alimony check stopped flowing. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse, guess what? Sharina's now getting sued by TJ Maxx for defaulting on her $3,000 card debt. Yep, what used to be chump change for them is now got them catching lawsuits left and right. Things ain't looking too good for Sharina and Kevin. And word on the street is, Wendy's chilling in Florida, while Sharina and Kevin scramble to keep their heads above water. Wendy thinks it's straight up karma for what they did to her, and believes they deserve every bit of this mess. But before we dive deep into Sharina's drama, let me give y'all some backstory on how it got this bad. All this chaos kicked off back in 2019 when Wendy filed for divorce from Kevin. See, Kevin was messing around with Sharina while still married to Wendy, and he even had a whole baby with her. According to Wendy, she knew he was creeping, but what pushed her over the edge was finding out he had a secret baby with Sharina that he was hiding from her. Not only did she leave him, but she also gave him the boot as her manager.
Don't recommend that you work with your husband, because I made him my manager, and then when I decided to divorce him, he had to be fired. In other words, I made him divorced and unemployed all in one day. Having this side girl for almost 15 years of our marriage. I've known about her almost since the beginning. I've known that Kevin is a serial cheat. The first time I found out was while I was pregnant with our son on bed rest. During that time, I gave birth to him. He was in the delivery room. You'll see that play out in the movie. He's passing out cigars, and you know, my wife and I, you know, little Kevin, who's not so little anymore, he's 20 years old. I plotted to divorce Kevin, and I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
What's even wilder is that while all this drama was popping off, Sharina's own family was riding with Wendy. Yup, they slammed Sharina for wrecking Wendy's marriage. Her own uncle was straight up aghast when he thought about the whole situation. Man, he had nothing good to say about Sharina at all. He said she should know right from wrong. She left her home state of South Carolina years ago and hasn't returned to see her family even on the holidays. Now, honey, this is where it all went downhill for Wendy. While the divorce was popping off, Wendy got hit with an order to pay Kevin alimony, which turned into his main cash flow. Meanwhile, Sharina was living it up, opening a whole bunch of businesses that flopped hard. Kevin even put her through massage therapy school, set up a kiosk for her at a mall in North Carolina, and got her a jewelry and clothing line called Vish. Kevin tried his hand at a barber shop too, and girl, that was a hot mess. Remember? All this was funded by Wendy's money. Despite all these flops, they kept living it up in style on Wendy's dime, without lifting a finger to work. And if y'all know Wendy, you know it was just a matter of time before she had to spill some tea. I mean, if she can't stop them from blowing her money, she might as well throw some shade, right? Wendy said all Sharina's businesses flopped because she ain't the sharpest tool in the shed and has zero clue about running a business.
You know, less than smart women who moved to the big city with bright lights, you know, and she wanted to be a model. And so you know how the girls with the sparkler champagne bottles at the club, they get people to spend more money, they dress scantily clad and things like that.
But baby, Wendy wasn't done dragging them. When her show got canceled, she cut off those alimony checks real quick, and you already know that sent Kevin into a tailspin. He was running out of cash to keep up that bougie lifestyle he and Sharina got used to. Things got so rough, he took Wendy to court for lagging on those alimony checks. He was crying that Wendy's money was his only income, and without it, he couldn't stay afloat. Court docs snagged by the U.S. Sun showed the whole messy situation. He was quoted saying, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the Homeowners Association, and I'm behind on that bill. If the Homeowners Association fees are not paid, a foreclosure will soon follow." He also added, "My car insurance hasn't been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life has been greatly affected since the plaintiffs stopped making payments under our settlement agreement." Now this, some clownery right here. This man was living off Wendy's money and didn't save a single cent. He and Sharina really thought they struck gold, and Wendy would just keep throwing them checks forever. Anyway, the judge saw straight through Kevin's nonsense and shut him down. The judge said his request was not emergent and ordered his application to be dismissed without prejudice. Now let me break it down for you on how Wendy managed to cut those alimony checks with no backlash. You see, Wendy slipped a clause into that alimony deal stating she'd only pay Kevin if she's still rolling in it. So, when her show tanked after her health took a hit, she was off the hook. Honey, $0 to him. And you're probably wondering if Wendy's gotta cough up when she's back on the grind. Well, she's smart. She put in the paperwork that it's only if she's on mainstream TV. Check her socials though. She's cooking up podcasts now. And as for Sharina and Kevin, oh child, they're in a real mess. Had to unload their Florida crib for $1.2 million just to keep up. Kevin's even in hot water with some loan sharks from Flex Wealth for splurging on 2 fancy whips he can't afford now. And check this out.
This backwoods Barbie, he was tricking up money. She's in the passenger seat of my Rolls Royce Ferrari. And, real
UBS Bank ain't playing games. They're dragging Kevin to court for dodging payments on his credit cards, racking up a hefty 5-figure debt. But hold up, while we thought Kevin was the only one sinking, it turns out Sharina's in deep too. TJ Maxx is coming after her for unpaid bills, and rumor has it, more lawsuits are coming her way. Court papers spilled the tea that Sharina's wallet is as dry as a bone. She owes over $3 grand to TJ Maxx, with payments due since March 27, 2023, and still hasn't coughed up a cent. Back in the day, these sums were chump change for them, but now that Wendy's cut off the alimony checks, it's a whole different story. Now, on to Wendy. Her ride or die, Miss Jones, aka Jonesy, just dropped some fresh deets about Wendy's moves lately. Remember, Jonesy's the one who blew the lid on Kevin's shady dealings, like allegedly sending goons after her because of her close ties with Wendy. Now, hold on to your seats, cause this is a whole nother story. Ms. Jones spilled the tea that she swung by Wendy's place to check on her, cause it's been quiet lately. Turns out, according to Ms. Jones, Wendy's moved down to Florida a few weeks back with her son, Kevin Hunter Jr. Seems like Wendy needed a break from Kevin and Sharina's drama.
Okay, so yesterday, Wayne made me go and visit Wendy Williams.
I made you go.
Everybody was in on it.
You know what? I sort of did because I kept saying, did you go? Did you go? Did you go?
And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah.
So I pull up. First, I pulled up to the wrong building.
It's been a minute.
I know.
Yeah.
And I had to walk, but it was okay. And so I get there, I go inside, the door people greet me, and and I said, "This might be a shot in the dark, sir, but I'm here to visit Wendy." And he shakes his head, and he goes, "You're a couple of months late."
Wow.
She moved. And I said, "Oh, and he goes, "Yeah, that's all I can tell you." So, I start prying. I'm like, "Well, did they sell the unit? Is it on the market?" Because this was a fabulous duplex. And the building she was living in, which now I can tell you guys, it was supposed to be a hotel originally. And then COVID hit, and they couldn't, obviously, no one was supposed to be in a hotel, so they sold it. And she told me how much she paid for it, and I was like, that was such a steal. It was beautiful, 2-floor, 3-bedroom unit. So I thank you, sir. And then I go and I look for the other people that, live in the building, work in the building.
Start sleuthing.
Yup. And I got my sleuth on. And they said, well, you know what happened? She was getting better. She was coming around. And then she started getting sick again. And because her family's in Florida, and people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with, and they didn't know, they couldn't get access to her when they wanted, they moved her down to Florida. So she is allegedly down in Florida with her son, recuperating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we wish her.
We do wish her well.
Yeah.
And Wendy, if you listening, you won. Diddy go into jail for Easter. It was true. Everything you said. I always believed. I always knew. You won. And Kev can't get your money neither. Wendy, the judge shut him down. You can stop now, Wendy. The gig's up.
And get this, sources say Sharina's out here blaming Wendy for getting sued, talking about if Wendy hadn't cut off those alimony checks, she wouldn't be in this mess. Can y'all believe it? Sharina's gone off the deep end. How you gonna steal someone's man, blow through their cash on failed businesses, then turn around and blame them for your own financial mess? Child, the audacity. It's getting unhinged. Now, as usual, people had a whole lot to say about this mess, and they did not hold back. One person said, "The amazing thing about this is Wendy can come back and be on top as if she never left. Nobody's taken her place since she left the air in 2020. That's what I want her to understand. Taking the time off to heal. There's no need to rush the healing process in fear of being replaced, because in my opinion, I don't see that happening." Another person said, "You know, you're broke when you can't afford a $3,000 TJ Maxx bill. Now let's dish." Can you believe Sharina's nerve, blaming Wendy for her own legal troubles? That takes audacity to a whole new level. As for Kevin and Sharina, who knows if this is really the end of their saga? The drama seems far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to click here to watch another juicy video. Let's keep this gossip train rolling.